The weather is turning, and I am so excited to get out there in that crisp air. Heck, maybe I'll even go for a hike, but there is nothing worse than feeling cool on your body, going up a mountain, and your feet are just so sweaty. Well, lucky for you, Bombas hiking socks are specifically designed to wick away moisture so your feet don't get sweaty. I love Bombas socks. I talk about it incessantly. I just refilled my whole sock drawer with them. They feel like a hug on the arch of my feet, okay? Plus, they have really cute designs. I'm talking, I got lavender leopard print, y'all. I'm obsessed with their socks. They are the best ones ever, and my feet get a little sweaty, so we love that sweat wicking technology. Plus, socks, tees, and underwear are the 3 most requested items in homeless shelters. And when you buy yours from Bombas, you're also giving one to someone who needs it. 1 item purchased equals 1 donated. So when I bought those 12 pairs of socks, 12 pairs of socks were donated to someone who needed them. So go to bombas.com/TMGW and use code TMGW for 20% off your first order. Give it a shot. Seriously, you are going to love them so much. Bombas.com/TMGW and use code TMGW for 20% off your first order.
This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
I feel like
Chin.
every week we get together, we should just slowly but surely make our cups bigger and bigger and bigger until we're just like sitting behind 2 trash cans.
That we get smaller. I will say, fashion-wise, we're really running the whole spectrum of fashion right now. You guys can't even see that Mamrie's wearing a matching set. Yeah. Look at that. Wow.
Look, here's the deal. This is one of those shame outfits where I bought it off Instagram or Amazon or something, and I know it was too cheap to be made in good
Ethically.
morale.
Yeah.
And it's on my body, and but I wanted to wear it because I have a red-eye flight tonight.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do I own that feels like pajamas?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's great. I think it was Sarah Whittle posting something about how there is a noticeable trend happening among our age group, millennials and a little bit maybe below, that we are kind of bucking fashion trends and dressing more like what our 10-year-old self dreamed of dressing like.
Oh, I like that.
And I was like, yeah, that really is something I can subscribe to fashion-wise.
You know what? If I really look at it.
Yeah, like I think you really make that point kind of true.
I think I want to be a Delia's catalog.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you ever get anything from Delia's?
I loved looking at Delia's aesthetically, the little flowers and stuff.
Oh, I wanted to be a model. So, like, I thought my little fucking gap-toothed, tiny, scrawny me was destined to be a Delia's model.
I remember I used to go on the website because Delia's had girl.com. It was like an offshoot, GURL.
Oh.
And I remember going on that site, like, I don't know, sometime in like young high school days when the internet first started, and being like, there's chat rooms on here.
On girl.com?
On girl.com of other girls just chatting about like fashion and like what they're into. And I don't think I even really participated. I just looked like a lurker at what everyone was talking about and was like, oh, this is like having sort of friends. Wow.
The only chat room I ever went in was the Nickelodeon.com.
Yeah.
I would sign in to AIM, to AOL, Ballet 007. And I would go to Nickelodeon.com because I was we both were Nick heads.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't have that Disney money. I didn't have the Disney Channel in my house.
No, we would have like the one weekend a year where they gave you a free trial. Yeah. And I was like,
it's too much narrative to get caught up in on one weekend.
I didn't sleep for 72 hours. I was like, Dad, keep the VHS tapes coming.
I was like, these Stevens don't seem so even.
Oh, man. Oh, God. But so I would go on the Nickelodeon.com and I would be in there. I mean, what did we even talk about? I was only cruising for boys.
Yeah.
So that's why I was not on girl.com.
I went on Yahoo chat rooms and that place was like lawless.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just trying to cyber with each other.
Well, I remember distinctly, I think I might have said this before, someone saying, you want a cyber?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm in like 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I remember verbatim saying, you are one sick puppy. And then closing the the chat and then being like, oh my God, what if my parents walk in and see that someone asked me if I want to cyber?
Oh, it was so scandalous. It was so scandalous and so dorky and so
Did you
cringy.
ever, me and my girlfriends, Ashley Anati in her basement.
Yeah.
She had a scanner.
Oh, big business. Yeah.
We scanned pictures from YM and said it was us.
You catfished.
Yeah, we catfished.
You guys got in there catfishing.
We were straight up catfishing Delia's catalogs. Absolutely.
Hey, why not? You're figuring it out. Everyone's figuring it out. I love that the internet got invented and we all immediately started lying on it.
Immediately. Like it took 5 minutes for me to be like, yeah, I'm 6'5". Yep. I've been modeling since I was 11. No, but I didn't realize until recently. I said something about Delia's and I didn't know they ever had storefronts. Like, cause I lived out in the country. So Delia's was just like, you get your catalog.
Yes.
And like hope and pray your parents let you buy something.
Yeah. We did not have Delia's at the Deptford Mall, but I remember years later seeing it at like, I don't know, King of Prussia Mall, one of those massive malls. It's
a hell of a name.
I know, it's in Pennsylvania. I remember going to the King of Prussia Mall for the first time as a young person. Like my rich aunt took me. So the whole thing just felt like the epitome of luxury. You know, it has like windows in the ceiling, that kind of thing.
A skylight?
A skylight. I didn't even know the term. Windows at the top of the room. Not the sides.
That King of Prussia loves a ceiling window. He
only looks up. And I really thought like this was the most extravagant place I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And they had a Delia's. At least I think. Who knows if I'm remembering correctly. But seeing the Delia's storefront was like walking into the magazine.
Oh, I wouldn't have been, my little brain wouldn't have been able to handle it.
It was insane. I couldn't buy anything there. But I just, again, lurked.
I was obsessed, but also like it was for more teenage girls.
Yeah.
So while I wanted to be a teenager and wear halter tops, I couldn't.
Yeah.
You know? So I remember one Christmas me getting 2 things from Delia's. One was a tiny clock that looked like a ladybug.
Of course.
Iconic.
Truly.
And one was a set of like very groovy pajamas.
Yeah. Everything was groovy.
It was literally what I'm wearing right now.
I was gonna say this flower like reminds me of the Delia's like logo. That it was so just aesthetically appealing and simple.
But so I got these like big 70s hippie flowers. I mean, I had one of those stickers on my car, you know, of these flowers. And I remember washing the pajamas and they shrank like crazy and it being devastating.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Awful.
That they were high waters now.
How do you still got to keep them though?
You got to keep them.
Because they're like, social currency at that point.
So good. So anyway, I probably wore them and was like, I grew 3 inches.
Yeah.
Over Christmas
I'm a model.
break, guys. So anyway, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing really well. I'm gearing up. Tomorrow will be chemo session number 2. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling equally good and prepared and also just nervous and scared as per usual, which I think is totally normal. I have these like dreams of grandeur. Maybe I talked about this last time of like befriending all the nurses and like because they all seem so sweet and they definitely all seem like they like, gossip with each other and stuff. So I have this I only have 6 sessions, so I got to start making it count.
You better make some moves.
I know. So I'm already in my mind being like, how do I get into some casual conversation with the nurses tomorrow so that I can start befriending them because they're so nice and they're so fun when I listen from afar, again, lurker on their conversations.
Do they only talk amongst themselves? Like, would you be an anomaly to get into a convo with one of these
No, they
cool
seem
nurses?
to talk with patients at different times. Like, I only had the one day, which was like such a whirlwind. And also, I'm doing the cold capping again this time because hair's still hanging on for now.
Woo!
I've noticed maybe the smallest amount of like shedding happening, but I also have super thick hair that naturally has shed my whole life. So
you have so much hair to spare.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm hyperfixating on it, and I'm like, whoa, here it goes, it's starting.
You're like, Grace, you naturally shed hair.
You pulled that out. You've just been running your fingers through your hair until you pulled one out.
You're just grabbing the hair out of every brush. Oh,
Yeah.
look at all this.
Whoa! Oh God, I gotta get a wig. So everything went. So I'm doing the cold capping. So I will be at a handicap on hearing. So, because it's hooked up to this machine that's running cold air into it like the whole time. So that is the bit of where the struggle comes in, that I have these dreams of like befriending the nurses, but I really cannot hold a conversation.
You're just going to be saying, wait, so is it kind of like an OG salon hairdryer, but with cold air?
It's strapped to your head. It's got layers on it. Like there's like one thing and then another thing goes over top of it. And then it's got two cords coming out of it. Elliot said I look like one of the fighter pilots for Darth Vader, which I was like, haha, funny, I think. And then I Googled it and I was like, spot on, babe. Nice.
Spot on.
Nice. And so it's running cold air in to keep everything frozen the whole time. So really, I can't hear a ton.
You can't get in with those combos.
I know.
You're going to maybe pass them a note.
I know. I'll use Elliot as my translator.
What if you went in with a chessboard?
Yeah.
And you were like, would anyone like to casually play one game of chess over the course of like 5 hours?
Like, I don't know how to play this game either. So this might be not fun for either of us. Would you like to join me? But they're super nice. And so I would like to be friends with them, because there was this one guy when I went for hydration, which I'll have to go for again on Thursday. He came in and he was clearly like this rock star of the floor. He walked in, hey to everybody. They all went, like they all like little chickens like clucking, and I was like, oh my god, he's famous here. And he like knew he was calling them all by name. And then he went to his station and was getting some sort of infusion, and he left before I was finished and said goodbye.
He was a patient.
He was a patient, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was another nurse.
That's what I thought too. And then I was wheeling my stuff to the bathroom and saw him. He was getting infusions, and I was like, oh, he's a patient here that clearly comes for some type, probably not cancer, I would assume, probably some other type of infusion, and knows everyone, has a rapport with everyone, and it was very like lively and energy. And I was like,
he's a rock star.
That was amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah,
he's amazing, and they love him.
He's the chemo cutie crush.
I know. So I'm hoping maybe he'll be there again, and I can just like take notes on his essence, because he was just like, he made their days, because they were already. It was like 2:00. The first time we went, it was during the early hours of the day, so everyone's like in their work mode. The next day when we went for hydration, we started at 2:00. So they were towards the end of the day. So they were all like looking at each other's computers and talking about like dating apps and stuff. Yeah. So I was like, look at those adult women. I want to be friends with them, talking about adult women things. And then this guy comes in and they're like, what's up? And I was like, oh my God, that's what I want.
Well, you just go tomorrow and just be reading both of your books. Just one in each hand. Just be like, kind of a big deal too.
Well, that's the thing too, is that I also am vlogging this week. So I want to.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into it, because I do think it's like really important for people that are going through it to see what's up.
I think all of the stuff that you've put out, from like the hauls to the updates and stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy you're doing this.
Thanks.
As long as you feel like doing it.
Yeah,
because
I have this kind of a slightly rejuvenated sense of purpose right now around it, which feels really good and not like gross or exploitative in any way. And so I want to bring my camera and vlog, but I'm so out of practice with it that I'm like already nervous about like pulling it out and being like, whoa, I'm talking to this camera right now. So lots of ideas around what will happen tomorrow, but feeling very good about it. Very excited that I know more going into it now, and super excited too about hearing Hank's news about his remission.
Hell yeah.
So fucking great for him, and like just also is motivating for me. So that part's really good, and yeah, we're going for it.
She's rocking it, you guys.
Have you ever thought you're really sneaky and you're browsing in incognito mode? Guess what? It's probably not as incognito as you think. Why would it be? Incognito mode, like the Chrome browser itself, is a Google product, and Google has made its fortune by tracking your movements online. There's even a $5 billion class action lawsuit against the company in California, where it's accused of secretly collecting user data. Google's defense, incognito does not mean invisible, end quote. So how do you actually make yourself as invisible as possible online? You can use ExpressVPN. It turns out that even in incognito mode, your online activity still gets tracked and data brokers still get to buy and sell your data. One of those data points is your IP address. Data harvesters use your IP address to uniquely identify you and your location. But with ExpressVPN, your connection gets rerouted through an encrypted server and your IP address is masked. Every time you connect to ExpressVPN, you get a random IP address shared by many other ExpressVPN customers. That makes it harder for third parties to identify you or harvest your data. Best of all, ExpressVPN is super easy to use. No matter what device you're on, phone, laptop, or smart TV, all you have to do is tap one button for instant protection. I use ExpressVPN. I love it, especially recently got my Twitter hacked, so super into all the security I can get. If you really want to go incognito and protect your privacy, secure yourself with the #1 rated VPN. Visit expressvpn.com/TMGW and get 3 extra months for free. Dang, that's ExpressVPN, expressvpn.com/TMGW. Go to expressvpn.com/TMGW to learn more.
Y'all, it is football season, which means a really good, delicious tailgate. But what if you get swamped with work and here comes Sunday and you've got nothing to throw in the cooler? Well, luckily for you, DoorDash exists and can get you everything you need without having to take a trip to the store. So, if you want to get back to school savings you really want and get unlimited free DoorDash delivery with Dash Pass, it's just $4.99 a month for students. How worth it is it? So worth it. 0 delivery fees, exclusive items, and more than 25,000 members-only deals offers nationwide. Dash Pass by DoorDash has everything you need to make this semester memorable. It's just very difficult for me to say. And for a limited time, you can get 50% off and up to $10 on your next order of $15 or more when you sign up for Dash Pass Student Plan and enter code TMGWBTC. That's 50% off up to $10 on your next order of $15 or more when you sign up for the Dash Pass Student Plan when you enter code TMGWBTC. You don't even have to leave your dorm to get delicious things to cook at this next Saturday or Sunday's tailgate. Hello? I'm talking stuff to make nachos. I'm talking just already prepared food from one of your favorite local chains. And if you want a deal, don't forget that's code TMGWBTC for 50% off when you sign up for the Dash Pass Student Plan. Subject to change, terms apply.
You have something really big happening. You said you're going on a flight tonight.
Yeah. We can't. Grace,
I'm not complaining.
We cannot transition chemo to a little trip I'm taking.
No, we can if we try hard enough.
I'm going to be cold capping just on a freezing Delta Red Eye tonight.
Yeah. But no, I'm bringing your comfy tomorrow too, which I'm very excited. Maybe I'll use the comfy as a talking point and
there
just
we
like
go.
Wear it and look at them and be like, would you like to ask me about this?
Would you like to ask about this custom comfy?
Yeah.
No, I'm going tonight. Grace knows this, but I hadn't talked about it on the pod. One of my favorite chefs, and by that I mean personality-wise because I've never eaten any of her food. Her name's Vivian Howard, and she's from North Carolina, but she had this show on PBS for I think 6 seasons.
Wow.
Like it won Peabody Awards and all this stuff because essentially she was like a regular fine dining chef in New York and then came back to North Carolina and opened up like a really amazing farm to table place. Farm to table.
Farm to table. Also, Peabody Awards sound so impressive and I have no idea exactly what they are.
It's humor awards.
Those are specifically humor?
I think Peabody is also like where the Mark Twain Award is given and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's specifically humor. Let me see.
I always just associate it with like this other echelon of awards that you get when you're a really interesting good person. A really interesting, smart, good person.
Well, it says the Peabody Awards is in honor of what are described as the most powerful, enlightening, and invigorating stories on television, radio, and online media.
Cool. Okay.
So Abbott Elementary won some.
Amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, so she's had this show and I was obsessed with it. And showing like farmers and her relationship with the farmers, or like learning how to make this new like pickled thing from an old lady in her neighborhood, and then like turning it into like the fine dining version. Like very proud of where she came from, but also the story of how like she hated where she came from and couldn't wait to get out, and then later in life was like, oh, I need to appreciate the history and like its own culinary form. Long story short, I'm obsessed with her. And she does this thing at her beach house in Bald Head Island, which is like one of those islands that there's no cars, it's just golf carts.
That's so fun. That's so fun.
I'm going to just be driving a golf cart all week.
That's so fun.
It's so fun. So anyway, she does this thing called Weekend at Viv's, which she's done it a couple times where like you know, you pay to come and you stay at a cute little inn and have your golf cart, and then you go to her house and it's like the first day you learn to make biscuits, and then you get like a eco tour around this place, and then it's cocktails. The next day we're doing a picnic. So you learn to cook and like do a wine course and all that. So I straight up slid into her DMs.
Why not?
As I do.
With things you're obsessed with.
With things I'm obsessed with. Slid into her DMs like a month ago and was like, hi, big fan of yours, et cetera, et cetera. I'm writing a cookbook, so I'm trying to just like interact and collaborate with people I respect in that industry.
Amazing.
You know, like legitimate my shit.
Yeah.
And
legitimate my shit.
Legitimate my shit.
That.
And so I was like, if for some reason you need someone to come teach a cocktail class, or, you know, if your somm drops out, you know, I'm this knowledgeable about it, could be really fun. And she was like, let's get on a call.
Amazing.
So she's invited me to the weekend, and I'm going to like make a couple cocktails and then like do like one little tiny demo. But really, I just get to like go do this thing that otherwise like I could not afford.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
That's so, and also I think that that's such a cool thing to see you doing, especially because we get so many questions constantly about like leveling up or like reaching out or like to people about different things, whether it's like professional work stuff or like friendship, kind of adult friendship kind
Being
of stuff.
vulnerable.
Yeah. And I think that that's so cool that you have the guts to do that.
Bless.
First of all, so many people I think are like searching for that kind of courage right now.
Oof. Well, so I am a little nervous just because I want to, if I talk the talk.
Yeah.
But so I like pitched a bunch of cocktails, and she chose some ones that she was just like, I love these. And
That's awesome.
so I'm traveling with bubble wrapped horseradish infused vodka, mason jars of it on the flight. Like,
is this the first time you've done something like this where like you're planning out almost like a full like cocktail weekend menu, and then you're going with the goods and making them on site for everyone?
Kind of. I mean, they have a shopping list. I'm just bringing the stuff that I knew I didn't have time to infuse the vodka once I got it. Takes like 72 hours. I did one thing once. YouTube asked me to do it, where I went to like Santa Barbara, and they were inviting, you know, up and coming YouTubers that they were believing in, and like, you know, wanted to chat with them and do all that stuff. And they had me teach one little cocktail class there. But it was like, here's how you make a mojito.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go to this award-winning chef who won like cookbook of the year and be like, you ever heard of a martini? Like, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like infusing simple syrups with lavender. I'm dehydrating passion fruit chips. I'm like, I'm trying to be pretty cool about it.
That's fun. Has it been creative for you too?
It has. I mean, as I'm like trying to come up with recipes to put in the book, I'm like, well, let me like test some out here. Like, here's one I think is really fun.
Go for it.
Okay. Because there's someone coming to the weekend that normally she was going to do like an oyster roast, which is a very Eastern North Carolina tradition. You know what I mean? It's just truly like oysters on the grill, and then they open up, and then, you know, this whole thing. But one of the guests, I guess, has a shellfish allergy. Okay. And so I was like, since we can't do that, but in honor of oysters, I came up with a drink called a cocktail. So it's like it's in honor of cocktail sauce. Oh. So it's the horseradish infused vodka, tomato water, which is like, you know, you puree tomatoes and then strain it. So it's just the like
the juice,
the beautiful juice, not like the kind you buy in the store. Right. It's like very like, I don't know,
thinner.
It's thinner,
or clearer.
Yeah. That with a little lemon juice, and what else do I have on there?
Delicious.
I forget what, and a little like simple. So it's basically like cocktail sauce, the cocktail.
That
it's
sounds amazing. Cocktail. I love that. How fun.
Thank you.
Thoughtful.
Oh, you know what? I'm excited. Yeah. I'm just very excited to do something new and put myself out there. But speaking of creativity, Burning Man.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you have any opinions on what's going on there?
Well, it just,
You've never gone, right?
No. And Chip has been like, we should go.
Really?
Yeah. Because that's up his alley. You know what I mean? Like he's like,
I can see
he
that.
can like festival. He loves camping. I think he would have been miserable in this instance.
Yeah.
But like, no.
Yeah, I mean, the porta potties were out of use. And that, to me, no matter how spiritually awakened I've gotten, if I have diarrhea out in the open, it's going to really ruin my day. It's going to harsh my inner divine connection.
I mean, guys, I clogged my own toilet this morning and was thoroughly grossed out by just me. So I had an extra probiotic gummy yesterday because I had a little bit of a sweet tooth and it paid off.
Yeah, I don't think there's an amount of mushrooms in the world I could take to not notice that everyone is shitting outside around me.
I can't deal. And the thing is like people go, oh, but the art installations are so cool.
Yeah, I've heard that. That part would be interesting.
Grace, though, I would have to like work myself up to go to a normal air conditioned museum.
Yeah.
You know, and even still, I'm looking up like, is there a bar attached to the MoMA? You know what I mean? So I'm not going to the middle of nowhere where I might have to shit on the desert floor to see a sculpture.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing going on. I hope everyone's safe. Like, that's just the safety aspect makes me nervous, obviously, but also like within the assumption that everyone's safe. Like, isn't this what you kind of hope for? Like the burners kind of hope for,
right?
Like,
the experience,
almost like apocalyptic. But it did look. I was seeing an article about it and like scrolling through videos, and it did look pretty wild, and people were trying to walk like 6 miles.
I think Chris Rock walked 6 miles.
Yeah, and then someone like picked him up in their truck.
In a pickup truck. Right? And he like still made it to a show. No, I was reading stuff about it and I thought, what a friggin' perfect entry point into a movie. Yeah. If it was called like Escape from Burning Man. And it's like all the burners, because like they're kind of stranded.
Yeah, that's what they were telling them, shelter in place and conserve your food, because they didn't know how long it would take after the rain for everyone to be able to get out. Yeah.
But if they were doing all this stuff, and they always like burn big effigies and things like that. If somehow that like awakened the devil and like everyone was stuck there and like ghouls started coming out.
I mean, yeah.
Ghouls?
Yeah. I mean, I see it. I can definitely see it as a movie. I'm curious if people, like I saw someone's like, my dad paid $15,000 for his first burner experience and it wasn't what he thought it would be. And I'm like, oh, right. People pay so much money.
Well, Bethany Frankel. Yeah. I guess she had to like walk back something she said about burning. She walks back everything. That woman is a back and forth.
Yeah. She gets her steps in.
Totally. She had said something about like, I don't go to Burning Man. I'm not like a young girl who has looking for a rich husband. And I was like, is that what it's become?
It's Silicon Valley.
I thought it was like
what?
I don't know.
Does she know what Burning Man is?
I don't know.
That's maybe not at all how I would frame that festival. But that does seem on brand for Bethany, just being a little bit out of touch.
A little bit out of touch.
Confidently out of touch.
Oh,
and this is coming from someone who is also confidently out of touch with a lot of things.
Yeah, but you don't think, granted, we have a podcast about nothing, but you don't think every opinion of yours is truth and fact and needs to be spoken on.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she's an interesting character. I love how Burning Man turn into let's analyze the psychology of Bethany Frankel, which is a bit all over the place.
Hey, it's art.
She does some good. She says some bad. There it is.
Oh.
Yeah, I did see, well, speaking of travel things not going as planned. Have you
God.
seen this?
Don't tell me something scary. I'm getting on a flight tonight.
I hope this doesn't happen to you. A flight from Atlanta was forced to turn around because someone had diarrhea all over the plane.
What?
And it was considered a biohazard by the pilots. Yeah, this
What do you mean all over the plane?
They said this was I was reading it from just like NewYorkPost.com. So a Delta flight from Atlanta to Barcelona was forced to turn around and make an emergency landing after a passenger, quote, had diarrhea all the way through the plane.
How does that? Wait.
I think that might be a quote from the pilot. I'm not totally sure. It was 2 hours into its transatlantic flight, so thankfully could have been way worse. But from Georgia to Spain on Friday, a pilot asked to come back because someone had, quote, had diarrhea all the way through the plane. They said, quote, this is a biohazard issue. said to air traffic control, and then they had to turn around 8 hours later. Everyone was able to make the trip and land in Spain. So everyone was 8 hours delayed on that. But can you imagine? No one knows the actual, at least according to this article, no one knows who the person that did it, like age or anything. And no one knows if that person got back on the plane and is in Spain now.
Here's the thing is, unless the person did it as like an absolute, I'm a crazy person and I'm going full like caveman drawings. Unless that happened, like I cannot imagine how bad that person felt if they were just like, let's say they stopped at a little raw bar at the airport, had something weird. All of a sudden they're like, and it's like, I'm already going.
Right. This is truly a worst nightmare scenario that I've imagined for myself on a plane when I've been on and I've had like a little bit of an upset stomach or been very hungover and been like, I don't know how these bowels are going to go with the air pressure change. So I feel awful for the person that did this and for everyone that's on the plane that have to experience this. But I can't imagine.
I am going to skip my probiotic gummies today.
Yeah, do yourself.
Because that is terrifying.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, diarrhea all the way through the plane. That is tough.
This is a real gross episode of TMGW, y'all.
That is so tough.
I have an opinion, and I would like to know if you feel the same.
Okay.
R.I.P. Bob Barker.
I know.
I love him. You know, he did great things for the animal community.
Yeah.
He was just an absolute delight.
Legend.
You know that Chip and I, at the end of a long getting high or drinking night, love to watch reruns of Price is Right on YouTube.
A joy.
He's an absolute national treasure. He died at 99 years old. And today when I was going on all the websites, RIP delisted, like E! Online, Page 6, Us Weekly, all the things to be like, give me that good old gossip rag gossip. It kept being like, Bob Barker's cause of death revealed. And I'm like, how about we just let him have died at 99?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's weird. I'm like, do we all need to know?
Right.
Like he was 99 years old. Do I need to know what actually flipped?
Yeah, what the medical thing was.
Yeah,
that,
it wasn't premature.
Yeah, that is interesting. I never thought about that. Like, what is the age limit that we can cut off and be like, you know what? Not that mysterious or interesting to me.
Where does it move to of old age?
Yeah.
We used to just be like, he died of old age. Yeah. And now we can't let a 99-year-old die without knowing what system.
Yeah, let him have a little bit of mystery.
Thank you. Anyway, I was just like, oh, that's weird. This one site did that. And then every single one I went to.
Yeah, it's all like copy and paste.
It was like age of that revealed.
Man. Yeah. I mean, it's like
you know what I mean.
Social fascination that everyone wants to know, like cause of death. But yeah, when it's that age, I'm like, I got it. I'm good.
We're good.
Let
Bob rest.
Yeah, please let him rest. He's 99 for God's sake. Okay, I'm sure we're all guilty of this, of going to WebMD or Google to look up, like, why do I have a headache? And then suddenly we're down a rabbit hole freaking out about a bunch of horrible conditions that we don't even have. Well, now you don't have to panic. You can talk to a real doctor instead and right away with Caraway. Caraway is the care you need all in one place. Their easy-to-use app offers physical, mental, and reproductive health care tailored to the needs of Gen Z. Gen Z, you're so lucky. With Caraway, you have unlimited 24/7 access to an experienced care team of doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, gynecologists, nurses, and health advisors, and you'll always talk to a real person, not a robot. Caraway can help manage different healthcare concerns like getting medicine when you're sick, treating depression, or refilling birth control prescriptions. You can also message your care team to get quick answers to your questions, big or small, like why your headaches won't go away, or that you need to know if your mole looks normal or not. We all have these kinds of questions. There are no long wait times, inconvenient hours, surprise fees, or Googling your symptoms. With Caraway, your healthcare is integrated in one place, accessible whenever you need help. Membership starts at less than $25 a month. That's less than a copay at urgent care. All the care you receive from Caraway is covered by your membership fee, including therapy sessions. And if you need labs, in-person care, or prescriptions, your team can coordinate with your doctors outside of Caraway. And even even help you navigate insurance questions. Right now, Caraway is offering new members 30 days completely free if you go to caraway.health/TMGW. There's no credit card required to try it. Get free and unlimited access to chat with their care team for 30 days. That's caraway.health/TMGW for 30 days completely free. Caraway is available in select states. Go to caraway.health/TMGW to learn more.
It's happened to all of us. You sign up for one of those free trials on an app because you want to start a show and you don't know if you're going to like it. You might just watch one episode and then cut to 6 months later, you realize you have been paying for this streaming service that you have not watched more than an hour of, but been charged for every month. How do you even find out that's happening? Well, you use Rocket Money. What's Rocket Money? It is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, wait a second, Chip, you also have a Netflix account? Wait, did we both pay for Apple this month? Rocket Money can find those things out for you and cancel it. They can be your bully, okay? Get a middleman. Get someone to go in there and say, hey, you better cancel that subscription, because most people think they're spending about $80 a month, when in reality, the number's closer to $200, y'all. When you're signed up for so many things, like streaming service you used to watch one show on, or free trials for delivery you don't use, it's easy to lose track of what you're paying for. Rocket Money can even negotiate to lower your bills to up to 20%, okay? Maybe you don't feel like canceling that app completely. Well, send in old Rocket Money the muscle and they can get the bill lower for you. All you have to do is take a picture of your bill and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They let you monitor all your expenses in one place, recommends custom budgets based on your past spending, and they'll even send you notifications when you've reached your spending limit. Okay, sometimes it's nice to be kept in line a little bit. With over 3 million users and counting, Rocket Money customers have saved an average of $720 a year. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/TMGW. That's rocketmoney.com/TMGW. rocketmoney.com/TMGW. Oh, we did something we've never done before this past weekend.
What's that?
You and I did. A fantasy football league draft.
Yeah, Mamrie and Chip put together a fantasy football league, appropriately named
the League of Losers.
Yes.
AKA LOL.
LOL. We're in a LOL league right now. And it's fun already because none of us knew what the hell we were doing on Sunday. They set up the draft and they were like, be at your computers at 12, or you can set it to auto draft for you. And like Elliot and I are trying to figure out how to auto draft because we didn't understand how to read the statistics like on the ESPN site. So
confusing.
And then you guys are like, we're pushing to 12:15. We have technical difficulties. And then then it started and it was just like auto set up for everyone. You guys are like, this is the wrong order. We need to fix the order.
This is why. Okay, because Chip was like, would you want me to organize a league for like your friends who don't know anything about football?
Yeah,
like a very low stakes. I was like, that sounds like so much fun, because I had said earlier, which I do every year when it gets to be around like playoffs and the Super Bowl, I'm like, next year I'm gonna follow a team.
Yeah, I always watch the Eagles because I know my family is huge for the Eagles. So there's like a fun thing of watching on this coast, cheering for them because of them.
Like, are you familiar with their players and stuff? Like, do you get that into it?
Like Jalen Hurts, I know.
Whoa, look at you.
Great quarterback. And someone else got him in the fantasy draft.
No.
Because my fantasy football name is the Philadelphia Kegels.
Yeah, she's killing it. Mine is the tightest end.
I know. I loved it. I was loving reading everyone's names. So I was like, how are we doing this, everybody? Are we going jokes?
Here's the deal. Tyler, you guys, it's the best. Tyler and Coy are in it.
Yeah.
Like, none of us know what the hell we're doing. Even Chip, it was so funny. He's like, do you want me to do this league? I'm like, sure. And I'm like, but I'm inviting all the people. And then like, he was like, just throw it on a group chat. I'm like, not everyone in it knows everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to like breach that privacy.
You guys are like the tent poles of connection for everyone.
Yeah, but it's so funny. So we're going through it, and Tyler was at that point the only person who hadn't like signed his team up.
Yeah.
Right. But you can't start the draft
until
everyone has signed up, you know? So I was like, do we move the number down? Like, do we cut him? Is he benched?
He's doing like a 9-hour Twitch stream.
That's what I'm saying is I had said to him, like, do you want to do this? And he was like, I'd be down if Corey is down. I text Corey. Corey's like, I do leagues every year.
Oh, fun.
He was like, I do all my straight brothers leagues. Corey knew it to the point where he was like, this might be a ridiculous question, but are you doing it through Yahoo or ESPN? Because I will not do it through Yahoo. I was like, wow, he knows the stuff. But so Tyler was doing a 12-hour live stream to raise money for teachers. Yeah. And I like kept texting and I was like, shit. So I made Tyler an account with my like burner email. And then I felt the pressure of like, what am I going to name it? I know he loves Greta, the female gremlin, as do I. So I named him the Gretas.
I was wondering. I was like, Tyler jumped in, I guess, and he's called the Gretas. See, like, is this a Greta Gerwig thing?
No,
I don't know.
I tried to upload the picture of her looking all sexy, but so it was a little stressful to get it going. And then Chip was like, "We have to do a draft order." Yeah, and he was like, we were doing it legit. He was like, we wrote everyone's names.
Yeah, you're doing like old school style.
A Post-it note, put in a hat. He was like. He was like, record yourself doing the draft. So I'm fully like, there's a video of me pulling the names to be like, if anyone questions the draft order, here's proof that it was done legitimately. And then Chip couldn't figure out on the back end how to rearrange it.
Yeah.
So we had to push 15 minutes. I was like, this is every live stream I've ever done.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
But it was great because none of us even knew that the order mattered, I think. You guys were like, here was what our order was going to be. And then it was like, oh, I just thought this just shuffles and auto.
No, because Chip got the first pick.
Oh, you guys, I wasn't even thinking about
Chip
it being
was
like.
distraught that he looked like a cheater.
I wasn't even thinking that. I'm literally just on the back end being like, am I logged in right? What do I do? How do I do? Oh, they're saying something about order. What's going on here?
Jacqueline's in it. And she was like, do they play a fake game together? And I was like,
then it pairs you up against people every week. So it's not even like you're watching, like you're up against everyone every week. It's literally like they break you off into duos every week. I didn't know about that part. So Elliot and I are technically against each other this week, which is very fun.
I think that's hilarious.
Super fun. Yeah.
Tyler and Corey are against each other.
Yeah. I was like, this is cute. This first week's going to be cute. We'll see.
You guys were jocks now.
We're super jocks now. Speaking of games.
Yeah.
Have you been playing Connections? The new Wordle game. There's a new game under the whatever that.
It's still New York Times?
Yeah, New York Times. What is it called? All the games that are on the left-hand side that you can choose to play because you introduced me to the mini, which I'm obsessed with.
The mini
still.
crossword puzzle. Yep.
Love it every day. And now there's something called Connections where it's like a grid of words and then you have to pair them into 4 groups of 4 based on similar like connections between these 4 words, whether they're like 4
seeds.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so fun. And
really?
I saw some article that it's like taking off as like the new like beloved Wordle game. So I didn't know if you've gotten into it yet, but it's like my new morning game. I'm really excited about playing every morning.
Is it like Wordle in that you're only allowed one a day?
There's one a day and you're only allowed so many mistakes of if you choose 4 wrong words. So you need to get 4 groups of 4 and I think you have 6 tries to do it. And every day it changes. There's no timer on it though, which is nice.
I'm in.
It's really fun. Throwing it out there for anyone who needs a new fun, I think, brain stimulating game to play. It makes me feel like I'm doing something okay for like my brain when I play.
What is it called? Connections?
Connections.
You're playing Connections. You're in a fantasy league.
Yeah, look at me.
We're reading. I got to announce a new book.
You what?
I got to announce a new book for Barflies. I keep forgetting.
Okay. Do you have the book chosen?
I think I do.
Okay. That doesn't
Should
sound
I
very
say
confident. Yeah, if you have it chosen for
Here's
sure.
the deal. I had everyone send me amazing recommendations. And I have been burned so many times in Barflies because it's like, oh, a hilarious romp through the life of a whimsical girl who blah, blah, blah. And then on page 3, it's like, everyone she knows committed suicide. And now she's navigating the reality of, and I'm just like, no, oh God, I just like, there's enough going on right now. I just cannot do like a grief book.
Yeah. So, I get it.
So we're doing Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Okay.
Give me some gay rom-com, baby.
Is that what it is? Okay, great.
Yeah, it's because now there's a movie on Amazon. Yeah. I think it's like 2 princes Like maybe fall in love. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I guess you're going to find out.
I'm going to find out. So you guys, don't watch the movie if you're in Barflies. And if you have, sorry, we're reading Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so you're reading Red, White, and Royal Blue. And also, there's a chance that by the time this episode goes up, we have merch available for pre-sale.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. We got new merch, you guys.
We have new merch. We're trying to get it up on DFTVA's website for pre-sale. So it might be up today as this episode's out. So go check that out, or it'll be up in like the next day or two.
And it's really freaking cute.
It's so cute. Hannah, this designer that we've worked with.
Hannah Adamson.
Yeah, a bunch in the past. She's redesigned a logo for us that I think is so fun and playful and just like refreshes the brand, but is still on brand a little bit.
We're going to have new like intros when you watch it on YouTube, all that jazz. I'm so excited. You know why this is perfect timing? Because I need new stuff to wear, so I'm not wearing weird Delia's pajamas all the time. Like once I get a fresh batch of our own merch, forget it.
I know. I'm like, selfishly excited because it's a whole new slew of sweatshirts and t-shirts to wear for the fall. And I love the way this merch turned out. I love the design that Hannah made for us. I love the new font we have going. You know, at this age, we all have opinions about fonts. Immediately, an opinion strong in the positive or negative direction about fonts when we see them.
Is there one that you really hate? Because I know people will be like, "Oh, Comic Sans," like,
yeah.
Well, is that how you say
I say
it?
Comic Sans, but
I
it
think
probably
you're right.
is Sans because it's like Sans separately is.
You're probably right. It's probably one of those. I just learned I've been saying a word wrong for 20 years.
I don't know. I do wish that Instagram stories would update with new fonts available.
No kidding. I don't need a handwritten one.
Yeah, that one always looks like you can't read it to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like handwritten ones that are legible and like clean that aren't script, I think.
I am really not into anything gothic.
Yeah, okay.
Like
across the board for your life. Sorry,
like
guys.
From fonts to architecture to general looks. I love bats, freaking bats, and Halloween and stuff. But I would never have a reason to use a font that looks Elizabethan.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel
That's my strong font opinion.
We all have them.
What is the point of a wingding? Was that just pre-emojis?
You know what? I don't know. We all just kind of were okay with when computers came out. This font was on there, and it was for something.
But it feels like a hieroglyphic. It feels like, oh, well, if you need I haven't looked at a wingding in forever.
It's wingding, right? Is that how you say it?
A wingding.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
But like, are there smiley faces or is it just birds?
I don't even remember what symbols were in wingding. I just remember being like, whoa, this one is aggressive.
Hold on. I have Word pulled up.
And I feel like people like in high school would send each other like coded messages in wingdings, but you could just copy paste and like change the font and figure out what people were saying.
Hold on. I have my, what's it called? Microsoft Word popped up.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll let me write in wingdings.
Whoa.
Has wingdings...
We've aged out?
Is wingdings like friggin', what is it, cursive?
Oh, no.
Are we not allowed to wingding anymore?
I mean, maybe they realized that like it wasn't getting the love they thought it would get over the years.
Or like once there was emojis. Yeah, because wingdings are, I think you've got like horoscope symbols and things. There's a mailbox. There's
there was a mailbox.
These are just emojis. Just bad emojis. There's a peace sign, a smiley face, a frowny face. Oh, so wingdings got terminated by the invention of emojis.
Wow, that is a bit sad.
I think that's the new, you know how a couple weeks ago I was complaining that I got asked what generation I was from? Mm-hmm. I think that's the new way to do it is, what are your thoughts on wingdings?
Yeah.
And if they don't know what they are, they're too young to date.
That's true. That's true. Hey, one last thing I was looking at before I came over. Would you like to hear about the science of why we crave the smell of pumpkin spice?
Do I have a pumpkin candle lit behind us right now?
As we walked in, I was like, and there it is.
I'm obsessed.
I went on Psychology Today, and the first, by the way, you have an insanely massive spider web that is hauntingly beautiful in between your trees.
Oh my God.
That is insane. I've been staring
That's
at
art.
it the whole time, but the sun just hit it in a way that is prominent. Beautiful.
Don't walk directly through that, Grace.
I won't take the actual walkway to walk out. I'll make
Don't
sure.
walk around the tree.
No, this article was about like the science behind why we crave pumpkin spice every fall.
Okay.
And it's pretty common sense when you think about it, but I thought it was interesting because there is like that, are we all just influenced by each other and being like, because I remember at first being like, it's so lame how much everyone goes crazy for pumpkin spice during the season. And now I'm like, I love it. I love
it too. Yeah, but I see what you're saying. Where does it just become like mob mentality?
Right. So first they start looking at the ingredients and like why we desire these specific ingredients. Sugar, obviously, is something we all desire.
Yeah.
Cinnamon is a natural aphrodisiac, which is usually in there.
Oh, I'm writing a whole chapter in my cookbook about aphrodisiacs.
Oh, perfect. Well, then also nutmeg is another spice that has aphrodisiac properties. There's a study on rats, sorry, Mames, that the extracts of nutmeg and clove stimulated the mounting behavior of male mice and also increased their mating performance.
Well, I've always heard that when it comes to when they talk about like what makes men horny, like the scents, they're always like out of perfumes and stuff. It's like stuff that smells like a cinnamon roll.
Wow.
Like that is the natural like head turner.
It makes sense. Yeah, these are...
And rats be fucking?
Rats could be fucking. The rats be proven that the boys like the nutmeg. And then there's another study in 2022 that demonstrated nutmeg has antidepressant-like effects, which involves various serotonergic, I can't pronounce these words. Basically, it helps our nervous systems relax in a certain way. Then the other concept is scarcity. Obviously, things in limited supply that are seasonal or for a short time only increase desirability in all of us. So as soon as it's like, this is only for the autumn season, we love it. Then also, obviously, like we're talking about bandwagon effect. Everyone jumps on. The more you see everyone else doing it. And then there's just the overarching reason that we love fall is that fall is associated with coziness because think about you're coming off of summer travel, summer break, and now you want a little bit more routine. So we all go back to this like fall, like I'm going to be in my house. I'm going to have a little bit more structure. I'm going to get cozy. I'm going to wear cozy things. I'm going to wrap myself in cozy stuff. I'm going to have cozy scents around. And that there's the anticipation of holidays. Okay. And this is what's interesting to me, that this season leads to nostalgia. Like trees changing color, things that are crisp and dewy. Yeah, that there's a huge sense of nostalgia. And I think as I get older and I'm out of school, I'm like, I do feel some weird sense of nostalgia for the fall, not for maybe returning to school, but just like a sense of returning to something that feels cozy or structure filled.
Fall is by far my favorite. What is it? Season?
Yeah.
Seasoning. Yeah. It's my favorite season, but also I've always felt, even in adulthood, like right now when it's changing and people are going back to school and all that, I always feel a bigger sense of like rebirth and habit change and starting over than I've ever felt for the new year.
Really? In the fall?
To me, and maybe it's the Virgo in me because it's also around my birthday and like, being I was into school and all that jazz. Like for some reason to me this season, even at 40, almost 40 years old, I'm like, all right, yep, it's time to make the changes. Who am I going to be this year? Way more than like resolutions.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, especially because it's like you're going from hot to cold.
Yeah.
So like everything is physically changing and opportunity for, to restructure all different facets of your life.
Did you know if you eat enough nutmeg, you'll trip? It's a hallucinogen.
Really?
Yep.
So nutmeg is doing a lot for us.
Nutmeg gets it. Give me that nutmeg.
Damn.
I will end with this.
Yeah.
The idea of being a scientist whose job it is to have to watch rats fuck is my actual living, waking nightmare.
Yeah. Like mine is having diarrhea all through a plane. Mamrie's is having to be forced to study the fuckery of rats.
I can't. I was visiting Chip last weekend, not this past one, the one before, and I was taking a shower in his hotel. Yeah. And for one brief moment, I forgot the dogs were there.
Yeah.
And through a steamed up shower, I saw Beanz and I screamed. I was like, there's a giant rat at this Comfort Inn.
such a fine line with that bean.
Oh, no, that's the thing I love more than anything else on earth.
It's my safe space.
Well, that said, I'm ready to have some pumpkin stuff.
Yeah, I'm ready to get into fall. I'm like super excited about it. I think I'm going to try to make some fall recipes.
Ooh.
Like, I'm going to be inside. So I'm like, should I start decorating for fall?
Let's do this.
Yeah, like really amp it up and make my ambiance something I want to be swaddled by.
Swaddle it up. This is cozy. Like you are in top cozy.
Yeah.
You have an excuse to be cozy
My
across
job.
the board.
It's technically going to be my job.
You're
for
like
the next
Ken.
couple
You're like,
months.
my job is cozy.
Yeah, exactly. That really is what it is.
Oh, well, this was fun.
Yeah, and check the DFTBA website for our new merch that's up there for pre-sale.
It's our back to school merch.
Yeah. So that's also why I love
New
this season.
wardrobe. Oh, well, this got weird.
Yeah.